While there is no official mention on who the last boss might be, I have deduced from lots of video evidence and doing copious amounts of cross-referencing that Blizzard has been dropping a lot of hints as to who exactly the last boss of Warlords of Draenor will be. And at the end of this video, you'll wonder why you never thought of it before, considering just how obvious it is. First off,
what makes it tick? What makes it distinct? What is it about it after all these years, coming up on almost 19 years? We've been working on this thing. What keeps us coming back to it? What keeps it fresh for us?
Medicine says they've been working on this thing for 19 years and specifically says the word fresh. In 1994, the same year Chris mentions as when they started working on Warcraft, a movie called Fresh came out starring Samuel L. Jackson. Jackson also plays a large role in the movie The Avengers, where a horde of aliens attack the Earth. All orcs are technically aliens. In the movie, they're able to stop the aliens by flying a nuke into space, blowing them up with a man in a suit of iron. Garrosh dropped a nuke on Theramore and also wears armor. Coincidence?
That does not make sense.
Probably. It has already been stated that Garrosh will not be the end boss again, but he does drive the whole expansion to action, and the whole chain of events that leads to him is just too perfect to simply write off as a coincidence. Now, what does any of this have to do with the final boss, you might be asking yourself? It's simple. Aliens.
When some knucklehead decided it would be a really good idea to open a dark portal between Azeroth and this dark, savage world called Draenor.
Now, this knucklehead he's talking about is Medivh, who is being controlled by Sargeras. Or else that's what he wants you to think. If you really read between the lines, it all becomes super obvious. Knucklehead is the name of a movie starring The Big Show, Paul White. Paul White also shows up in an episode of Psych, a TV show about a guy who fakes psychic powers. Many of the spells in WoW are very similar to things you could pull off if you had psychic powers. One such notable boss is Kel'Thas, Sunstrider. Kel'Thas pulls out all the stops when you fight him: mind control, telekinesis, biolocation, levitation, and pyrokinesis. You fight Kel'Thas on Draenor, where he is thought to be dead. But when you turn in the proof of his demise, he makes it well known that he indeed survived and goes about to try his hardest to bring Kil'jaeden into the world. And I know what you're thinking, but he was killed again in Magister's Terrace. And to that I say, was he really? The person who breaks Garrosh out of jail and sends him back in time is the bronze dragon who takes the form of a blood elf. Kel'Thas is also a blood elf. Coincidence? Absolutely. But why Kel'Thas? Why are they pointing at him so heavily? Kel'Thas likes to pledge his loyalty to whoever can offer him power. First it was Illidan, then Kil'jaeden when Illidan went nuts. Now, who will this wishy-washy, I'll pledge myself to anyone who gives me attention guy work with next? The end boss of Warlords of Draenor, of course. Now that we know for certain that it has to be someone with a lot of power to give away freely, that narrows down the list of potential end bosses considerably. Now take a look at this video.
We don't currently plan to add more guild levels or perks with this expansion. We think that system did the job that it was intended to do for Cataclysm, but I don't think that we can reasonably expand every single system we ever do with every expansion. In fact, what we're trying to do is, as we go forward, is find ways to compartmentalize the systems to the expansions that they live in.
Now, what did this video tell us? I know it's pretty obvious, but let me point it out to you anyway. The Warcraft logo on this guy's shirt in the middle is green. The whole color scheme for Burning Crusade and Warlords of Draenor is all about green. In the picture depicting Gul'dan for Warlords, you see him holding green fire. Most pictures of Kel'Thas show him with 3 orbs of green fire surrounding him. And what do these two people have in common? Both work for Kil'jaeden. Kil'jaeden fits all the criteria. He's an alien from another planet. He has the means to offer Kel'Thas power. He set in motion all of the events that make up Warcraft's history, second only to Sargeras. And he had heavy involvement with Old Draenor and the founding of the Orcs. It would only make sense that he would be the end boss. Of course, that's what they want you to think. I will admit, I too was drawn in by all the obvious clues that point to Kil'jaeden, but that was all a double misdirection to the true end boss. The true final end boss of Warlords of Draenor is Super Kil'jaeden. It's the only thing that makes sense logically. I mean, Sargeras is dead and all the other major powers are nowhere near Draenor. So, a Super Kil'jaeden is the only thing that makes sense. Don't worry though, I have proof to back up this logical claim. Kel'Thas, the person they've been pointing at so heavily, has blonde hair. When anyone in Dragon Ball Z goes Super Saiyan, they get blonde hair. A super powered up version of Kil'jaeden is the next logical step to take when looking at all of the evidence objectively. Frieza, an alien from DBZ who goes around the universe causing mayhem and destruction, fights the first Super Saiyan in 10,000 years. Kil'jaeden, whose backstory is very similar to Frieza's, was kinda involved in the War of the Ancients that happened 10,000 years ago, in which Sargeras lost and he became a pseudo-leader of the Burning Legion. Goku goes Super Saiyan for the first time in chapter 317 of the manga entitled Life or Death, and in the episode numbered 95 of the anime, Transformed at Last. 317 minus 95 is 222. 222. The second raid boss of the second tier has 2 special abilities that increase the player's power significantly. The first is Essence of the Red, an ability that essentially gives you unlimited resources and makes you way more powerful than you were before. The second ability, called Burning Adrenaline, doubles your damage, doubles your attack speed, and makes all your spells instant cast. With both of these abilities, it's almost like becoming a super version of yourself. So, as you can see, from all my math and logical conclusions derived from obvious clues given out by Blizzard, the end boss of Warlords of Draenor will be Super Kil'jaeden.